Before I say anything, I want us to try something. If you haven't already, please close your mouth and press your lips together. Now try to scream, not from out loud, just from within. Really try. That pressure, the heat, that's what it's like when pain has nowhere else to go. A scream without a mouth. We tend to imagine suffering as loud, a blow-up, a crisis, a major meltdown. But some of the most dangerous suffering is quiet because it learns how to behave. It's the laugh at the right time, the I'm good with the right smile, the perfectly timed, I'm just too tired. Two words can become emotional drywall. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. And those two words are useful until they become a soundproof room. I know that room well. I'm in long-term recovery, and I've been blessed to have 18 years of sobriety. And what I've learned both personally and professionally is much larger than just addiction. It's that most people aren't trying to ruin their lives. They're trying to stop feeling something that they don't know how to carry. Pain doesn't just disappear. It changes outfits. It shows up to the runway dressed up as sarcasm, overworking, numbness. When pain can't exit through language, it exits through unwanted behaviors. There was a time that my body quit before my denial did. I overdosed. I overdosed and was treated at the very hospital that my mom worked at. Not a good look. And when they saved me, when they brought me back, it didn't feel like a miracle. It felt like exposure. See, when you've danced that close to the edge, any illusion that I was in control of my life completely evaporated. And the loudest sound in the room that day, it wasn't the medical team's voices that was trying to save me. It wasn't the monitors that I was hooked up to. It was shame. Shame doesn't just hurt. Shame edits our vocabulary. It's what makes the truth feel unsafe to say out loud. It's where we learn to perform, I'm fine, even when we're not. There's something that I wish we were more open about. It's that honesty has consequences. I'm not talking about behaviors that require certain consequences. I'm talking about the punishment that we give people for being honest. When the truth feels too dangerous, people choose silence. And silence is where harm grows. If you tell the truth, yes, you may lose the things you've been hiding behind. Relationship, reputation, comfort, control. You may lose the story you've been selling or the illusion that you're managing well. And that loss can feel like death. But here's the paradox. Honesty can be the first thing that saves you. When someone really opens up and they shine a light into their darkness, something changes. The pressure drops. Their performance ends. The nervous system that's been bracing for danger finally has a place to land. Shame loosens its grip. In the moment that someone chooses to no longer stay invisible is the very moment that they stop carrying the weight of that pain alone. there's something that I've been able to witness happen over and over and over again. It's that when someone says finally that I'm not okay, I'm not doing well, it's like they've struck a match in the dark. Tiny little flame, huge risk. And what happens next is more important than most people realize. Our reaction to them can be either wind or shelter. Wind looks like panic, lecturing, minimizing. Even love can be wind when it's scared. But shelter's different. Shelter's calm, inviting. Shelter's validating. Shelter says, stay right here. You don't have to go into that dark room alone. I've given us a lot of anecdotal evidence to think about, but I want to ground this. Researchers distinguish between the difference of social isolation, which is the objective lack of contact, and loneliness, which is the subjective feeling of disconnection. And the impact is not small. In a meta-analysis of over 148 studies, researchers found that stronger social relationships are linked to a 50% greater likelihood of survival. The U.S. Surgeon General reports that social isolation and loneliness increase the risk of premature death by roughly 26 and 29%. Folks, that's comparable to like smoking up to 15 cigarettes a day. So when I talk about connection, I'm not talking about sentiment. I'm talking about when someone lights that match in front of you and shows you their truth. This is not a soft moment. Our goal is to get them to see a next step. So here's how you can become a shelter anywhere, anytime, without the need to be a clinician. I call it voice. And the goal is simple. It's to give pain a way out without destroying the person carrying it. Voice is V for validation. We validate. We start here. Say something along the lines of, thank you for entrusting me with this, or I see and hear you. Validation isn't agreement. It's proving that you're safe to open up to. And then we offer words. Remember that shame steals language, so we offer words gently, like handing someone a flashlight. I'm wondering if things have gotten heavier for you lately, or perhaps you've been afraid to say some of this stuff out loud. We're not diagnosing, we're helping translate. And then we interrupt shame. We say what stigma won't. This doesn't make you unlovable, or the feelings that you've been experiencing doesn't make you a bad person. You're not weak. This is pain, and pain is not a life sentence. And we choose a next step. When someone opens up, they don't need a 10-point plan. They need one move that proves that honesty didn't break them. A walk, an appointment. Maybe it's a text message to someone that they need to communicate with. Small steps matter when a person's in that soundproof room. And then we extend presence. This is the rarest one. A lot of times people show up once and then disappear because it's too uncomfortable. But pain doesn't resolve itself in a single conversation. So we follow up. We circle back. We become a porch light for them. That's voice. That's protecting the match. What do you think keeps that room dark where that person is living? Let's put a name to it. Stigma. Stigma is a tax on honesty. It's where people believe that they tell the truth, they'll be punished. So they choose the safer alternative, silence. But silence is not neutral. Silence is where spirals accelerate. Silence is where people begin to believe that they're a burden. It's where people begin to believe that the world is just better off without them. Folks, I'm not talking about just being nice to someone. I'm talking about changing what honesty costs to provide a moment where they can start to face the things they've been hiding behind. A person that has the power to change the trajectory of someone's future isn't always a professional. Sometimes it's a friend. Sometimes it's a coworker. Sometimes it's a teacher. It's a person who makes the truth feel survivable. It's a person that can create a space that becomes a porch light, not a spotlight. It's a person that creates a signal that says, you can come back. You do not have to disappear. I want us to think about someone in our own life. Perhaps they're a little off, a little bit busier, quieter, maybe more distant. And when the time feels right, check in with them, ask them how they're doing. They may come back with those two famous words, I'm fine. And then say something along the lines of, I'm asking you because you matter to me. And then stop talking. This is where we don't have to push, prod. Just be steady. Protect the match. Be a shelter. I want to remind us that when someone finally has the courage to open up and say, I'm not okay, it doesn't feel like a brave moment for them. In fact, it feels small, fragile, easy to undo. Here they are with their little flickering match, their flame of honesty, one reaction away from disappearing. In that moment, most people don't need fixing. They need safety first. So be the shelter, because someone somewhere near you is carrying a scream. And you may be the very first person that it ever finds a mouth.